Oh, wow. That's hot. Hello and welcome to Food for All. I am Ronnie. I have IBS. The other half of this channel, Ernie, has Crohn's, and that means we can't enjoy a lot of the foods that people love. So this show is our attempt to take those foods and modify them for people with dietary restrictions or food allergies, but still make them taste great. Today, we are going to be making cinnamon rolls, or cinnamon buns, or cinnamon bons? Short for bonbon, which is French for treat. So we're going to be making a little treat today with the following modifications. Gluten-free, because that is a constant here. I cannot have any wheat flour, so this is gluten-free flour that we're going to be using. I'm going to do regular cane sugar, but you can substitute any sweet thing you want. Maple syrup, honey, coconut sugar, whatever it is. We will also be eliminating, not including at all, seed oil-based hydrogenated fats. Hydrogenated? Hydrogenated? However you pronounce it, it's not good for you. So we're going to go with real butter. Can you make this vegan? Possibly. I haven't tried because you kind of need the eggs. But if you wanted to do a lactose-free version, you could swap out the milk for lactose-free milk. That's an option for you. Mostly just gluten and the sweetener that we're going to be concerned with. And also, it'll have about half as much fat as the one you find at the airport, which is a plus if you don't want to, consume 40 grams of fat in a sitting. All right, we are going to start by cutting up the butter and putting it into the milk. There we go. Let's just do this. Fine. Plop. Oh, it plopped right in there. All right. There we go. All right. Okay. And then I am also going to add some hot water to the yeast and a little bit of sugar because we want them to wake up and start being active before we add it to all the rest of the stuff that's going to happen here. So I'm going to microwave this until the butter melts and the milk is heated. If you need instructions on how to microwave milk, this video is probably a few steps too far ahead for you. Please find an adult. All right, so I'm going to add some hot water to this yeast and a little bit of sugar just to wake up the yeast. Not too hot. You don't want to kill the yeast. We just want to wake them up. And give a little stir. And that should be ready to go in a couple minutes. There we go. Smells incredible. I love yeast. Yeast are some of my favorite fungi. It's a fungus, isn't it? Yeast, right? Yeast are fungus, aren't they? Let me know in the comments what you think. Is yeast a fungus? That sound means the milk is ready. No, it's not. Needs another minute. Okay. In the meantime, we're going to do the eggs. So, again, if you need help cracking eggs, this video is probably a little too advanced for you. Use that as the garbage plate. 2 and 3. Bam. Wonderful. That is ready to go. We're going to make a little pile here. And we'll just beat them together. Good workout. Whew. All right. the butter is mostly melted. The eggs are mostly whisked together here, nice and frothy. Okay, give the butter and milk a stir. See, we're nice and homogeneous here. Now, if it is too hot, you will have scrambled eggs, so that's not good. This is kind of warm, so what I'm gonna do is, to kind of expedite things, add the sugar to the milk and butter mixture. That way it's all together and it'll combine even better. And we just give it a nice little stir, bam, and then very, very slowly add it to the eggs. If you add it all at once, you risk cooking the eggs and it won't be delicious. And that's just not good. Give it a minute. I'll add the salt at this point. Doing okay. And the rest of that goes in. Eggs, sugar, butter, milk, salt. We're good. Now let's do flour and then yeast. Because if I do flour first, that will assure that this mixture is not too hot that it'll kill the yeast. So, 650 grams of flour. Woo, it's dusty. And at this point, I'm actually gonna swap out my whisk for, are you kidding?
Just stay in character. Stay in character. Stop. Just stay in character. Just respond to it.
Okay. So, swapping out the whisk for a spatula, and I'm just gonna pop that yeast right there. Bam. Okay. And mix it all together. All right, so we're stirring. Now, you may find that the dough might be a little too wet, in which case you might have to add some more flour. How do you know if it's too wet? Well, if you still see like liquid bits, probably too wet. I have not completely combined the flour yet, so we're not there yet. We may not need to worry. You might notice there is no cinnamon in here. That's a good thing. You don't add the cinnamon to the actual dough. You add the cinnamon to the filling, which we're gonna do once this has a chance to rise. Which, by the way, this is not a quick recipe. You need to allow time for the yeast to do its thing. So, if you're expecting a quick turnaround, hate to burst your bubble. This appears to be going well. The flour looks like it's pretty much combined, and it looks more like a dough than a batter. If it looks like something you'd make pancakes with, you need to add more flour. There's no risk of over mixing because there's no gluten. If you do this with wheat flour, there is a chance that they'll get very tough. So I used a special type of gluten-free flour that has wheat starch in it. It plays very, very well with any recipes that have yeast in them. When it comes to yeast baking, not any or all gluten-free flours are equal in that regard. So I've tried this recipe with other flours and it was not as successful. Look for a gluten-free flour that has wheat starch. They remove the gluten. In most cases, it is certified gluten-free. Anything below 20 parts per million is acceptable by the FDA guidelines for anyone with celiac. Now we have a pretty homogeneous looking dough here. The yeast has been incorporated and it looks quite lovely. It is warm, which is what we want because that will mean that the yeast are active and it will rise more quickly. When this just about doubles in size, it will be ready to shape and then we can deal with the filling. I'm gonna cover it in plastic wrap and pop it in an oven that is off. It is not a hot oven. Make sure it's off with the light on so that it proofs. We'll let this rise. All right, so this is, adjust this here, bam, like that, bam, bam. Make it nice and tight so it doesn't dry out. Look at that, it's beautiful. Now it goes right in to there. And we'll see you in about an hour. So, if you want to do this ahead of time, you can mix the dough, cover it, and pop it in the fridge overnight. Then, in the morning, take it out and roll it. If you are pressed for time, you can do it all in one day. You just have to leave anywhere from 45 minutes to about an hour for it to rise. And ours seems to be risen. And look at that. We've got a dome of, I mean, look at that. That's crazy. So definitely some yeast action there. I'm gonna close that and let's reveal here. Oh, smells amazing. Okay, incredible. That goes in the garbage. And now I'm just gonna make sure it's free enough to actually come out of the bowl. All right, this seems to be going very well. So I'm gonna dust my work surface that has been cleaned, make sure it's clean, with some of the gluten-free flour. Light flurries. Just a nice little dusting. All right, beautiful. And then we're just gonna plop it right down on here. Oh, uh-oh, stuck a little bit, as you can see here. That's not good. This spatula is very flexible and it's not coming out. Come on out, don't be shy. Come on now, come on. Get out there, come on. Okay, well that didn't go as planned. Come on you. Cooperate. Yes, good. See what happens when we all work together? It's a better world. It is in fact easier to work with if you do the overnight in the fridge thing, because the butter cools down and it's not as soft and malleable. I need a different tool. Hold on. See if this will work. There we go. That's the right tool for the job. Look at all that doughy goodness. Can't leave that behind. All right. Go. Scrape. Scrape it all the time. Scrape, Sonora. Scrape it all the time. Okay, clean hands, or you can wear gloves, but we just want a nice little dusting here. Ooh, flurries. All right, put that there. Ooh, okay. All right, so we're just gonna make sure nothing weird is happening here. Is this a lot of flour? Yes, but the alternative is it sticks. You don't want that. Rolling pin right here. I'm gonna roll it into a rectangle. There we go. You know, it's actually, it's holding together pretty well. It is holding together pretty well. I have a structured settlement and I need cash now. 877 cash now. Why is that stuck in my head? I have a structured settlement and I need cash now. I'm gonna be repeating that all day, I'm sorry. All right, when it's about 16 by 9, no, that's not right. When it's about 9 by 13, sorry. 16 by 9 is the aspect ratio of... All right, so we want it like a rough rectangle. About the amount of heat that is coming off of this thing. It was very warm. That's good, because it'll rise quickly. All right, so we have... This is our pan, and we want it to be a little bigger than that, and that'll roughly be the right size. So now we'll be ready to roll as long as we make sure it's able to, yeah, nothing's sticking. That's important. Get rid of some of the excess flour here. Oh, no, okay. Oh no. Just stick that there, no one will notice. Fine. All right, now. We don't want it too thin, so I think this is a good size. Let's just shape it into a little bit more of a semblance of a rectangle here. Okay, beautiful. I have some melted butter here and a brush. And what I'm going to do is brush it on. There we go. We want a nice thin layer because that is what will allow the filling to stick. If you skip this step, the filling will fall to the bottom and it won't be quite as good. It'll still taste delicious, but won't be as good as it could be. All right, there we go. Just let it go where it wants to. Just like that, little strokes. There we go, that's nice right there. And then we'll take some happy little cinnamon. Okay, there we go. That's nice right there. All right. Beautiful. Okay. Thoroughly coated with melted butter. I have here 1 cup of brown sugar. You can use coconut sugar. And 1 heaping tablespoon of real cinnamon, mixed thoroughly. Get rid of all the clumps that you can. And then what we're gonna do is we are just gonna sprinkle it right on here. And we'll even it out after it's all on. But you basically wanna use pretty much all of it. Okay, that's all. Now we just kind of even it out here. Any bits that don't have filling on them. And honestly, could have even gone with a little more filling. Look at this, it's just barely enough. Holy crap. I thought it was gonna be too much. All right, now comes for the tricky part. We have to roll this. So I have my little scraper thing here. We're just gonna make sure nothing's caught. And we're gonna start tucking. Okay. So I wanna even that out, sorry. Even that out a little more. Okay, start rolling. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Don't split on me. Don't split on me. Okay. That initial one is the hardest part. Now we just tighten it and roll. It's like a cigar. What else can you roll? Let me know in the comments. You can roll pastries, and you can roll dice. Sometimes you gotta roll the hard 6. Isn't that the truth? It's coming together quite nicely, I have to say. Don't fail me now, don't fail me now. If you can trust bumper stickers, you can roll honor. Get to the end here and it's stuck. Great. So we just let it go. Want to pull this back. Come on, buddy. Yeah, there we go. Good, good. Okay. Okay. It's a little easier to work with here. Now, as you notice, the ends are kind of f***ed up. That's okay. Because we may discard them. But for right now, tight little roll here. It's a beautiful, beautiful cinnamon roll, cinnamon bun. I need a serrated knife. All right, we want to go for like 2-inch thick. So I'm gonna cut these off. These are kind of the rejects, the ends here. It looks great, but that'll be like on the end. For the actual ones, we want like that thick, about. So I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna use it as a guide so that they are all the same size. See there? Roughly the same size. It doesn't need to be perfect. Perfection is admirable, but never let perfect get in the way of pretty darn good, right? One, two, three, four, five, 6. So we've got 7. Ooh, come on, come on. 8. 9 good ones, and then roughly, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and a half. I think that's okay. Let's put them on our pan here. I kind of want to clear that. Okay. So we're going to do this. 3. They are going to rise. They are going to expand. So bear that in mind. So I am going to cover these with some plastic wrap while the oven is preheating. And they will proof, and then we'll bake them. Sound good? All right, these have proofed for a bit. They are have risen a little bit more, so we're gonna pop them right in the oven. Woo! All right. And let's check on those in about 20 minutes. All right, so it's been about 20 minutes. They are lovely and brown, and it is time to remove them from the oven. They're a little blonde, but not really. You know what? I'm calling it. Yeah, because any more and they would start to burn. Okay. Look at that. That looks absolutely beautiful. Let's close that. These look outstanding. The icing frosting recipe is available in the description. I'm going to ice them, but before I do, cue product shot. That's hot. So good. Oh my god. Look at the bottom. It's crazy. Oh, it's light, it's yeasty, it's cinnamony, it's not too sweet. It's got half the fat of one of the actual cinnamon buns, and it's just better because I made it all myself. All right. This has been how to make a gluten-free cinnamon bun. I have been Ronnie. Just a little bit more. Just want another piece. It's very good. Let us know in the comments what you would like us to tackle next. If there's a certain food or recipe that you would like us to... This has been a gluten-free cinnamon bun. Please let us know in the comments what you would like us to tackle next. If you like the shirt I'm wearing, if it is effortless fashion, it is available for sale in the description along with all of the recipes we see here. Until next time, enjoy food for all.